Welcome everyone to our radio series, Finding Peace in Turmoil. This program is brought to you by the joint effort of Meditation Master Minh Niem and the Meditation Psychotherapy Communities, Mindful Living Land, in many places. Dear audience, as you're listening to this first radio series, right now, the coronavirus has spread to more than 200 countries. That's 99% of the total nations around the world. Other than the risk posed to our health and life, and the significant casualty to the economy, humankind on this planet is experiencing psychological damage as they witness several tragedies unfolding every day. It is not to mention that everyone is also suffering from all their self-made panics. This radio podcast has been created with the intention to soothe, heal, and provide mental support so that we can all join hands, stay strong, and surpass the turmoils together. Please join us to listen to the following Dharma talk given by Meditation Master Minh Niem, titled The Best Time to Return.
Dear everyone, may your day be filled with peace and mindfulness. The Vietnamese Zen master Trần Nhân Tông, who was originally a king but later ordained to become a monk, wrote a poem in the 13th century called The Way to Live Happily in the World. The first sentence of this poem stated that since lies full of uncertainties, in order for us to live happily, we must learn to be in accordance with our current conditions. It means to let go of the past, which is no longer here, to not be concerned about the future of what yet to come. Capture the present moments, treasure and nurture it. Live happily in the now. When the external circumstances are challenging or even full of chaos and we have tried everything but are still unable to overcome, then what does that tell us? It is telling us that currently we don't have the favorable conditions to succeed at something externally. But it also could mean that we are now holding the conditions to be successful at something internally. It is the time for us to turn inward to ourselves. When our soul is burdened with too much turmoil and our mind is uneasy, we become tired and depressed. The quality of our life is decreasing. Day by day, we become a different person and cannot find our way out. When this happens, it is signaling us to stop our actions. When our soul is wounded, worn out, and broken, whatever we try to strive to become will not yield positive results. When our mind is uneasy, we find nothing but troubles. The world we see is a projection of our mental states. That is what the Buddha has proclaimed. Therefore, to stop and return to oneself is an essential part of the journey to one's life success. What should we stop? When the universe presents us with too many unfavorable conditions and even upheavals, We must understand that the universe doesn't want us to continue doing anything. Do not take any more actions, because most of our actions will be unbeneficial or even dangerous. We could cause damage to the environment, our community, and the society. Through our means of making a living, we have created infinite negative energy. Because of our ignorance, we don't have the right view to choose the right path. We usually conscious of what we are doing, but cannot stop. When adversities are unfolding, it is sending us a message to stop our activities, stop to look at ourselves and others. Not to mention that we need to stop to return and take care of our health. Don't wait until we are on our sickbed, unable to move, to realize that nothing out there can be as precious as our health. Nothing we ever try to strive can help us fight against death. We stop so that we give ourselves a chance to deeply connect with our soul, to have an inner look at our childhood wounds that continue to undermine the quality of our life. From time to time, we continue to acquire more negative habits, such as being dogmatic, overbearing, doubtful, fearful, etc. We might recognize them, but lack the ability to overcome. Stop so that we could return to do the things that inspired us, things that we have always wanted to do, but did not have the courage to do so. It could just be as simple as sitting with our loved ones, having dinner with our family, enjoying a cup of tea, having deep conversations where everyone can share hurdles and triumphs, offering support to those in need. Stop so we could dwell deeply in the present moment and enjoy the conditions of happiness that we have in. Watch the sunrise as a new day begins. Look at the flowers blooming in our garden. See the beauty of the road leading to our rosy home, a home that we have worked hard to build, a simple, sweet, loving home. Stop to experience all the fundamental states of mind, such as stillness and peace. Stop to relax, detach from the need to prove ourselves to anyone, to live true to oneself. These are all precious treasures contained within the soul. Just as Zen Master Trần Nhân Tông said, the way to live happily in the world, the key to a happy life, is to live in accordance with the current conditions. It is defined by him as simple as eating when you are hungry and resting when you are tired. It means whichever condition are presenting to us. They are the condition for us to live happily in the present moment. What matters is how we make use of them. We take eating and resting for granted until we have nothing to eat, no clean water to drink, and no fresh air to breathe. Even meeting up or exchanging handshakes are suddenly no longer easy matters. When we appreciate all the present conditions of happiness, we become a rich person. With a rich mind, we shall find peace and happiness in everything without relying on the external circumstances. The last sentence of the poem implies that the essence of meditation and inner development is an art of sitting in deep concentration. True growth comes from how we apply meditation in our daily life, so that we could face external circumstances with a calm and detached mind. It shouldn't cause aversion or ignorance to arise within us. We are fully capable, and any one of us has the capability, if we are determined to practice, in order for us to advance in our practice, we need to have the times and space to return to our inner self. Now is the time for us to do just that. If it is not now, it will never be.
If cherry flowers are afraid of the bone-chilling winter, how will they blossom when spring comes? All choices come with a price. A great ship asked deep waters, ever since we came into the world, we have already accepted the fact that discontentment is a natural part. That is not to say we also have our high hopes of achieving true happiness and total liberation. Up next, we invite you to the first few pages of the book, There is Nothing to Fear, written by author Minh Niem, narrated by Paul John Hopkinson.
We all have fears. We fear things that could affect our privileges or livelihood, and that is an instinct of any living beings. However, there are things everyone must fear, and there are things not everyone would fear. One person's fear is not necessarily someone else's. That is because everyone holds a different view of an event or object. Scientists from the late 19th century noted, "The world we see is a projection of our mental state at that current point in time." Even within ourselves, we are constantly changing from one moment to the next. With the same task, we might be keen to do it sometimes, but not at other times. With the same person, one moment we might want to be close to them, but the next we no longer do. With the same challenges, there are times when we are ready to cope with them and determined to overcome them, but there are also times we are afraid to face them and thus run away. Why is that? Why are our views of an object or a person not fixed? And when will we have the most sensible and complete outlook so that we no longer have fears, or at least we won't be afraid of the things that not everyone finds dreadful? Because someone with only a few fears is a strong person, and they must have discovered many qualities from the survival instincts within themselves. Besides, a person with no fear, or very few fears, is an individual with peace, happiness, and freedom. With close observation, we will recognize that people from previous decades had fewer fears than those living in modern days. Those who reside in the countryside have fewer fears than those living in the city. Those who live close to nature have fewer fears than those dependent on technology. The poor have fewer fears than the rich. Those who take actions have fewer fears than those who stay only in their comfort zone. Those who have been through ups and downs of life have fewer fears than those who have never met with failures. The longer we live in comfortable, safe and modern conditions, the more we tend to lose our endurance and perseverance over obstacles to reach the right to life and higher values. To be more specific, as human beings indulge, we strengthen the being part and weaken the human part, which is a magical entity that the universe has given to us. History and reality have proven that there were no great heroes or sages who tended only to their human part. They all had to endure indignities, train hard, and went through vigorous disciplines. The surprising fact is that the more we put ourselves through training, the more we become extraordinary. We will realize that we have many treasures within us. We will see that we are no longer the everyday needs that we used to identify with. The more we practice, the more we become closer and deeply connected to the universe. Eventually, we realize that we receive our energy from the universe and we are one with the universe. We might have heard of the Vietnamese saying, "A hand cut to the rich is comparable to the poor having their intestines pulled out." It implies that the way those living in protection and comfort overreact when faced with a small hardship can be compared as similar to those who are used to living in poverty encountering a tragic, life-changing event. To the poor, a hand cut is a tiny, trivial matter that they should know how to resolve without panicking, whining, or making a big deal out of it. From a medical perspective, once in a while, we should also rid our body of some old blood so that it can regenerate new blood cells. Our body, therefore, can become more robust, and oxygen transportation to other organs, especially our brain, will be more efficient. That is not to mention, when we donate blood cells, our old blood is now new in someone else's body and helps them recover quickly after surgery. That is why, according to many, donating blood is an honourable act towards others and tenacious towards oneself. They can donate blood frequently without any dismay. Everyone knows that failure is the mother of success, but everyone is afraid of failures. That is an enigma of humans. People want to achieve extraordinary and enduring values, but do not dare to make sacrifices, dedications, or withstand anguishes. If cherry flowers are afraid of the bone-chilling winter, how will they blossom when spring comes? All choices come with a price. A great ship asks deep waters. Ever since we came into the world, we have already accepted the fact that discontentment is a natural part. Because we have welcomed contentment and never said no either. That is not to say we also have all these high hopes of achieving true happiness and total liberation. Therefore, the secret of living in this world is straightforward. Equip ourselves with a sound immune system to face all the difficulties instead of trying to pursue the best conditions. An immune system is something quite natural and has always been there within us. If we continue to exploit the immune system, it will drain out. But if we replenish it through practice, it will not only remain, but might become even greater. Our primary life mission should be to learn how to live in harmony with the universe and other human beings so that we can protect it and bring benefits to one another. Instead, we strive toward making money, dive deep into indulgence, and find our ego in the amount of work we manage to get done, so that behind all these accomplishments is a crippled self, easily petrified of all the surrounding fluctuations. A lion suddenly reduced to a kitten, a blood child of the universe reduced to a lost soul, confused by the upheavals of the cosmos. Oh my! What have we done to our instincts through these years? Stop jumping and screaming in the face of adversities. The best way is to return and find our true and radiant nature. It is waiting for a chance to be reborn.
In the last few days, as the pandemic is escalating into a global catastrophe, a message claims to be written by billionaire Bill Gates has been shared around the world over the internet. It is a heartfelt message sharing some profound perspective on COVID-19 and has touched many hearts. However, a spokesperson from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has confirmed that Bill Gates didn't write it. The real author of the letter thus remains a mystery until now. Regardless, its content is very worthy of sharing and studying. We sincerely thank the writer of this message and Sơn Đặng for helping to translate. Please listen to the content of the message through the voice of Bernie Richard Adams.
What is the corona COVID-19 virus really teaching us? I'm a strong believer that there is a spiritual purpose behind everything that happens, whether that is what we perceive as being good or being bad. As I meditate upon this, I want to share with you what I feel the corona COVID-19 virus is really doing to us. It is reminding us that we are all equal, regardless of our culture, religion, occupation, financial situation, or how famous we are. This disease treats us all equally. Perhaps we should too. If you don't believe me, just ask Tom Hanks. It is reminding us that we are all connected and something that affects one person has an effect on another. It is reminding us that the false borders that we have put up have little value, as this virus does not need a passport. It is reminding us, by oppressing us for a short time, of those in this world whose whole life is spent in oppression. It is reminding us of how precious our health is and how we have moved to neglect it through eating nutrient-poor manufactured food and drinking water that is contaminated with chemicals upon chemicals. If we don't look after our health, we will, of course, get sick. It is reminding us of the shortness of life and what is most important for us to do, which is to help each other, especially those who are old or sick. Our purpose is not to buy toilet roll. It is reminding us of how materialistic our society has become, and how, when in times of difficulty, we remember that it's the essentials that we need: food, water, medicine, as opposed to the luxuries that we sometimes unnecessarily give value to. It is reminding us of how important our family and home life is, and how much we have neglected this. It is forcing us back into our houses so we can rebuild them into our home and to strengthen our family unit. It is reminding us that our true work is not our job. That is what we do, not what we were created to do. Our true work is to look after each other, to protect each other, and to be of benefit to one another. It is reminding us to keep our egos in check. It is reminding us that no matter how great we think we are, or how great others think we are, a virus can bring our world to a standstill. It is reminding us that the power of free will is in our hands. We can choose to cooperate and help each other, to share, to give, to help, and to support each other. Or we can choose to be selfish, to hoard, to look after only ourselves. Indeed, it is difficulties that bring out our true colours. It is reminding us that we can be patient, or we can panic. We can either understand that this type of situation has happened many times before in history and will pass, or we can panic and see it as the end of the world and, consequently, cause ourselves more harm than good. It is reminding us that this can either be an end or a new beginning. This can be a time of reflection and understanding, where we learn from our mistakes. Or it can be the start of a cycle which will continue until we finally learn the lesson we are meant to. It is reminding us that this earth is sick. It is reminding us that we need to look at the rate of deforestation just as urgently as we look at the speed at which toilet rolls are disappearing off of the shelves. We are sick because our home is sick. It is reminding us that after every difficulty, there is always ease. Life is cyclical, and this is just a phase in this great cycle. We do not need to panic. This too shall pass. Whereas many see the COVID-19 virus as a great disaster, I prefer to see it as a great corrector. It is sent to remind us of the important lessons that we seem to have forgotten, and it is up to us if we will learn them or not.
The world you can fly, passing your wing in home. Cloud, the world of play, breaking it down with home. From every concept of his taping, colors of the world is message up to say. Promise is broken, and love it in I go. It's a slavery on love. Since night so bright, everything devastated. We learn wrong. Grow up so what we let. Your beautiful soul. Close up so what we last time we second toddler.
The pandemic will pass following the impermanence rule of the universe. However, while it still rages on, we must prepare the right attitude to tackle whatever comes and protect ourselves as well as our families and society. One of the phrases that we are constantly reminded of is stay where you are. Staying home right now is the best solution to prevent further spread of the virus. It is also the best opportunities for us to give the most comprehensive to ourselves and our loved ones. Caution in our every step, placed in the heart of the here and now. Anywhere we need to go, wait until peace has arisen first. Our radio podcast series is concluding here. Thank you for tuning in, and may you all be peaceful.